Morning everyone. What we got here is an extra piece of land that the plot holder next to me. Let's have a look around the plot that I'm managing at the moment. You can see there's the tarpaulin over the bed that I completely sieved the other week. Then we've got the pathway here. Then we've got along the back fence everything I dug there all the way along. Now if I swing you around slowly if I can, that's the pathway dividing myself and my fellow plot holder next door to me. He came up to me yesterday and he said, I can't manage all of this plot, and it starts from this pathway here and that structure there down to the front there. It's about the same depth as my plot. He said, I can't manage all of my plot. If you're willing to do a bit of work, you can keep whatever you grow on here. You can have half of my plot just to manage, to keep it ticking over. So I said, yeah. I mean, it goes all the way along the front there. See those bricks? Doesn't include, yeah, includes that pile of rubbish which he's going to take back, and it goes right down to the front just before those tubes of blue and yellow pipe. There's a pathway along the front there, all the way to the left. He has rotivated a bit of this previously, but still all the way around there. Over here, that's his squash, over to where those canes are sticking up there, and just the far left hand side of this large raised bed that he constructed, which I'm going to take down eventually. So now I've got a plan, but I'm not going to reveal it yet. I'm just going to start and see if I can clear this area in the front about there, where that brick is. That's the center line of this plot, and I'm going to start by clearing a pathway down the middle, and I'm going to start work on 2 plots either side, and I'm going to see if I can take out most of the weeds, and then I might try to start a no dig bed on top. I might even uncover that whole sieved bed that I did last week and use some of that as topsoil over the cardboard, and then try and put in some organic matter or something like that. We'll see what happens over the top of that. So what I'm planning to do is a pathway down the middle, a wide pathway. Now guys, I'm not sure if you know, but my daughter's got a disability. She's a wheelchair user, so anything I do on any of my spaces, I will always try and build in some slightly wider pathways that she can access and have a look around the garden. So my plan is to turn this space into a wheelchair accessible, not perfect, but a wheelchair accessible allotment plot. I'm going to top slice the soil from that pathway and turn it over into the beds either side, and on top of there I'm going to build my no dig beds. Welcome back guys. As you can see, that went long about 40 minutes. I've dug all the way down that pathway, which seems wide at the moment. It's just about 1 meter. It seems wide, but it's, by the time you've merged the edge, what I'm going for in the long term is a kind of organic merging of path and no dig beds. So I have turned over quite a bit of couch grass. For any big bits I see, I'm pulling out, but let's see how it goes. So I've stepped down into here. It's always very rough where the wood is, where the wood was before, and in a moment I'm going to take the wood out, and I'm going to dig another spade width in and turn it over on the edges, and then make sure I've got everything turned over where the wood has been laying. And you can see everything I've turned over from the middle pathway has been turned onto half of each of the side beds. So I'm going to do the same from the other sides of the beds when I make a path between the outside of these beds and the next beds after that. Okay, tripod's broken, it's boiling hot. But anyway, I've raked over the beds, I've raked down between the pathways, and there's the start of another bed there. That's the bed I'm going to focus on now, and these pathways here. And it's that middle bed there. I'm going to water it, and then I've soaked some cardboard and I want to see if I can get that on there. I'm choosing the wrong weather, I know. I'm sure I have. Kind of see if I can get it down there, and that's been soaking, and I want the wood chips to come under there like that. Right, let's get some compost on that. Not compost, manure. See if I can get some manure on it, see what happens. Now I'm going to put some soil on, the sieved stuff, and hope there's no weeds in there. Right guys, thought I'd bring you over here. I've just pulled back that blue tarpaulin that was on the earth that I sieved, and I'm extremely disappointed, but I shouldn't be surprised. Bindweed, tiny little seeds. It's not in there, it's just because I sieved it. It don't mean to say there's no seeds in there, does it, eh? Look at that, it was all sieved. All of this. And there's weeds everywhere. So I've got some thinking to do, and I've got to decide whether to take all that off there and just dig it into the soil, or what. Mind you, I have learnt something, haven't I? Because if you think I took 18 hours to sieve all that soil, thinking I'll get rid of all the couch grass. I have got rid of the couch grass, most of it. I definitely haven't got rid of weeds, which you're going to get weeds wherever you go. I've got to create a lush green landscape that's crammed full of plants, and it will enable the vegetables to flourish. Now, what do I do with that lot? Don't know. I'll bring it back when I've made a decision. Okay guys, I made a decision, and I've decided, I think I'm going against the principles of putting clean, pure compost on top of the manure. But you know what? Underneath that cardboard, there is the turned over clods of bigger weeds, and the cardboard is acting as a weed barrier. So even though I've got weed seeds germinating in my sieved soil bed, I'm going to use a few barrelfuls of that. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to see what happens, and then I'll be able to hoe out the little seeds. I'm probably doing this all ass about face, but that's what I'm going to do. I can't get across there. This is the sieved soil from underneath the blue tarpaulin. And what do I do that for? And apart from these tiny little weeds here, it's all right. It's got to be expected. You're never going to catch all the weeds, are you? This soil is going to go on top of the manure. So there's the manure, there's the cardboard, and there's the sieved soil, which actually looks quite good. All right, so I'm going to build up a few inches there. Okay, that's the first layer on. I'm just going to tread that lightly down. We shall see. This is my very first attempt, guys. You know, right, that's about 6 barrows full of topsoil sifted, and I'm just coming to the end of this bit here. I just want to cover the cardboard, although I'm not doing a good job there. I mean, this will be interesting whether this works. I've got no compost, guys, but this is sieved soil with added manure. Okay, I can see little tiny weeds. I'm going to have to hoe that out. The main purpose of this exercise today was to see if I could learn anything about doing a no-dig bed. So we started with digging a trench where the paths are going to go. That's here and there and over there. We turned the soil from the paths into the bed, half this side and half from that side, that path over there. On top of that means the main weeds, the big weeds, are turned over underneath the cardboard there. I watered the ground thoroughly, soaked the cardboard in a massive bowl of water, took all the sellotape off, laid out the cardboard over the bed and trod in some manure that I'd got from the stables. Went to get some topsoil because I've got no funds for, what do you call it, compost. I've got no funds for compost, so I went to get that sieved topsoil from over there. I was very disappointed, I must admit, when I first pulled the tarpaulin back, and that's probably because the tarpaulin doesn't block out light. I know that. There's little tiny seeds growing, which you would expect. No sieving is going to get all the seeds out, the weed seeds. So I've decided to use it. I've put 2 layers of this topsoil, sieved topsoil on top, and now I'm going to give it a thorough watering, and then I don't know what I'm going to do. I should have a load of stuff ready to plant, but I'm going to think on that over the weekend because it's time for a barbecue. It's been fun exercise. Hope you've enjoyed watching it. We'll see what happens to the no dig bed, shall we say. And if you noticed, just a reminder, I'm not doing raised beds with a hard frame around the outside. Let me show you what I could have done. So I could have taken some scaffolding boards and done a hard frame round the edge. I didn't want that. I didn't want slugs finding a home inside these boards. So I'm going to do what am I going to do? A more sort of natural looking, I can't remember the word now. In here is going to go the wood chips, and there's going to be a natural kind of a, oh sod it, I can't remember. I'll do some overdubbing. So we're going to have a natural, more cardboard down here, and then wood chips in here, and it's going to have more of a natural feel to where the bed starts and the path starts, and where they meet in the middle. Okay, so on top of there's going to go some wood chips like that. So I hope you enjoyed watching that, guys. I certainly enjoyed it. It was a bit of fun. I'm just going to do some watering on it. Another watering. I quite like that actually, what I've just done there. This soil is so soft you can afford to do that and you're not going to get rough hands. So that's what I'm going to do. I think probably I should have patted that down with a spade or something, just like Joe Mills does. Thanks for the advice, Joe. Thanks, Charles. I'm learning as I go. Probably not enough on there. Do you know what I should put on here? I should put loads of straw on top. I don't think I've got any, and I don't think there's any in the communal area. So Guys, I'm leaving it there. I'm signing out. I'm going to water it. I expect this will all be dried out when I come back Monday. So I'll see you again soon, and thanks for watching.